Alright, I'm going to be doing a price action recap from today. I ended up taking no trades. I'll just be going over the trades that I faded and what I was looking to take, but we didn't get to close. So yeah, let me just get straight into it. So what do we see coming in the day? Well, we clearly see falling knife structure on the 4-hour, right? This big 4-hour candle. We're currently trading at the low of the body on both indexes. ES ended up sweeping out this daily intermediate low, and it was also equal low on the daily. This put in a huge SMT with our range low right here, and the reason I didn't honestly really care about this SMT is because high time frame we are delivering off this daily gap. 4-hour, what have we been doing? Well, we're trading through all these gaps towards the left, and this SMT really has not provided us with any sort of rejection wick off it, right? We're not rejecting off this SMT. We just keep on moving lower, 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 especially on ES towards this prominent low down here, and this prominent low down here being the monthly fair value gap on ES. So pretty much just going into the day, I was bearish basically just off that. What did I want to see coming into open? Well, NQ really had no targets lower, so did ES, so all I wanted to see was price generate low resistance liquidity, leading up to, or move up, mitigate this more discounted 30-minute fair value gap, and then generate low resistance liquidity kind of on its way up to then short back down, right? Now, let me just play out market open. So here, 9:30 opens lower. There was a possible 30-second long right here. I personally was not a fan of it. Just kind of a weak key level, a 30-minute intermediate low. If I go to the 30-minute, right, we have a 30-minute intermediate low from Friday, so nearly a week ago. Not a very strong key level in my opinion. And I was just very bearish after seeing all this. Even though, yes, very clear AMD structure in the 1 minute. We had agreed upon DOLs higher, so I could see why you took this trade. Honestly, not terrible. What happens next? Well, we see ES rip up mitigated 30-minute. We see NQ do the exact same thing. And at this point, I was thinking, okay, now I'm looking for shorts, right? What do we keep doing? Well, we keep on expanding. 945 does what? Well, 945 ends up opening a little bit lower. And then we end up kind of just displacing down very quickly. Now, at this time, I was thinking about a kind of Judas type of idea, right? What have we done? Well, we have not printed low resistance liquidity leading towards any draws lower, but we do have this 930 wick still intact, right? My framework here, my idea here was if we ended up inversing this more discounted 5-minute gap, rejecting off this more discount 30-minute, that just confirms to me that the 930 wick is going to be hit, right? I'm not necessarily confirming that we're going to move down all the way down here and hit that intermediate low on the monthly, but all I'm confirming is, okay, if we displace out of this more discount 30-minute and we hold this more discounted 30-minute, clearly we just want to keep ripping lower, ripping lower, ripping lower, right? So this 930 wick is pretty much guaranteed if we inverse this 5-minute gap. That's why I was looking for the 5-minute gap. If I play out the next 5-minute candle, you see we just end up rejecting right off it. I wasn't necessarily looking for longs at this point because why? I was still bearish, right? I'm just seeing this as us printing more kind of low resistance liquidity, you could say. And also this high is technically high resistance. I just was not a fan of kind of like this really zigzag PA, so I just kept on waiting. If you traded today, you know, not really much happened. We kind of just keep on generating low resistance. Nothing in here at all is valid, right? There's some 3 minutes, but I personally do not take any kind of like 3-minute cons lower towards the 930. I like 5-minute gaps and above only for me because I just feel they're more clear. I don't like to get stuck up on the lower time frame. We still have this 930 wick below, so now my idea was, okay, now I'm looking for a possible long after we sweep out this 930 wick, right? Because we're clearly showing rejection after this huge move down overnight. What does this mean? Well, this means that price no longer wants to go down and we're starting to respect this higher time frame SMT at our range low. See right here, we still have this SMT intact. And what is the 4-hour done? Well, the 4-hour candle has closed like this. Let me make sure this is here. All right, perfect. And now we're no longer moving down with any sort of volume. What we're doing instead is we're slowly chopping down towards a DOL. What are we doing on our way down? We're printing low resistance liquidity where all of our key opens being 10 a.m., 9:40, and 10:15 aren't manipulating anything. All they're doing is they're just generating liquidity back up towards this hourly gap, which formed at 10 a.m., right? 1 hour. If I look here, hourly, We have an hourly gap right here. And this hourly gap sits, I was pretty sure of this bearish expansion leg. It sat, yeah, at 0.5 exactly. So this was a trade that I was looking to take. I was looking to take along at this point, kind of just waiting. We had 10:15 open up, possibility of opening up lower, sweeping out that 9:30 wick. It just did not happen. If you trade today, you see here, there was a possible trade at 9:30. This 3-minute long. I didn't take it because if you look at ES, right, what has ES done? Well, we do have an SMT with 9:30 wick, but ES is not delivering off of any key level. Meaning there's no reason for this index to move up and mitigate this hourly. I don't trade just purely based off of SMTs. Yes, technically SMT at range low and SMT 9:30 wick, but I would have much rather ES not edge this 9:30 wick. It's such a prominent draw, and I really I need to see that true manipulation before I take a trade, especially this late in the session. Like at the time, it was 9:37. I really just need to see clean manipulation on both indexes, especially that late in the session, right? So I ended up fading that trade out and ends up losing. And then we just kind of keep on moving down, right? And then the session ends. So, not really a lot of opportunity today. Once you kind of see PA move sideways like this, it's kind of a telltale that, especially on a week where there's no news like this week, we tend to just kind of chop like this some days, and we don't really get any clean movement. So it's definitely a valid no trade day. If you took anything today, I'm not really sure what you could have taken except for this long right here and maybe like a possible short over here. But yeah, that's my view on PA today.